Good morning, everyone. It's 8:30 a.m. and we're here for interim administrator update with Tom Gaines.
Good morning, commissioners. I hope you all had a good weekend. We tried something new this week. I'm going to assume you received the DH reports that I mailed to you Thursday about 4 p.m. I have two reports that were submitted after the deadline, one from Susie Fody and one from Dell. Did you guys get that email and have the chance to read it? Okay. I'm going to assume not. I'm going to tell you that it is in your inbox instead of me going through 7 department briefs. But the two that were not included that came from, like I said, Susie and Dell. So for Susie, she has relocated several people in some of her in-house space, and she's met with CenturyLink. They're still trying to figure out why they can't get a second fax line in there. They're having some issues with it. She's still working out the Youth Homeless Demonstration Project grant and the contract. I'm watching the emails go back and forth between her and Trevor, so I know it's in work. She's finalizing the agenda and details for Staff Development Day this Friday. And I'm not sure if she's going to try and resubmit a 2026 budget with the new insurance amounts to balance, but she's going to have a really difficult time doing that. Her insurance went up quite a bit, and she's working on an updated rental agreement with the landlord. She's going to struggle on the budget, just saying. So for legislative action, she is working on the Child Advocacy Centers in Washington Public Policy Committee to set their legislative priorities for the 26th session. Her biggest focus will be the Department of Commerce Office of Crime Victims Advocacy budget decision package of $21.3 million. She's going to be on a continued watch for victim services funding, and there's a federal component to this that I'll talk about in a moment. And signed on a statewide letter to the governor for funding request for victim services. I apologize. And she's extended an invitation to the legislators of the 9th and 13th for an on-site visit, and she'll keep you guys posted if they do accept and when that will be. Moving on to Dell, his Quincy renovation project was completed on Tuesday. This fell one day over the schedule because of the holiday weekend, but the building looks great. I know him and Kevin were going to finalize the scoring of 3 architects for the 2026 Moses Lake site renovation. Everybody knows that he was the recipient of the Leadership Award, which was awesome. He's continuing to meet with his finance team to help the transition without a finance director. So far, it's going well. He is able to support them, and he's going to hold off on recruiting for a week and he's going to continue to work with HR, and he's going to review the position. Hi, Decorah. And Joe Carter and the GCTS team did meet him again out at their new place on Yonezawa and walked through a bunch of requirements to provide guidance on what they would need server-wise and get the tech side of that done. Neither one of them are really, by neither one, Dell or Susie, are awaiting any decisions by the board. I know that we're all wondering about budget. And this week, everybody knows that there's a deadline. Just as a reminder to the board, all of the department heads are uploading their department head weekly brief into Perplexity. Perplexity will automatically generate a single document, putting all of those together in one format for you, which is the one that was sent for the first time on Thursday. And then Thursday afternoons, those will get sent to the board. The hope is you'll have chance between Thursday and this morning at this time to go over those. If you've got a question about those that I need to follow up on, or if there's an appointment you want to schedule with the department head to dive into something a little bit deeper, you can let me know, either before or during this meeting, and I can get that set up. And that's how we're going to try and make that work. There's a lot of information I want to be able to, good morning, Cindy, to provide to the board. But if I spend an hour going through each department's update, it's going to be tough to get to all the other things that I would like to be updating you on. So I'm hoping this works. I'll need feedback from the board if that's a good good time of Thursday afternoons, or if we need to back it up a day, Wednesday afternoons, whatever works best for you. I just want to make sure that information is getting to you and that you are hearing from the department heads. Do you have any questions about that or the email?
I like it. I just, for whatever reason, I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay.
I can try and
Yeah, expecting it will be helpful. Not having any idea it was coming, obviously, isn't this week. The only thing I would say, Tom, was like, if there's something important, I would bring it up. I mean, getting a GCTS or a regular update that you would normally give, if there's something more important than those, I don't know why I would hear about GCTS during the administrator update. So
sure. It was only
that would be my only curiosity.
Yeah. No, I agree. I hear you. The only reason I included it this morning was because both Dell and Susie didn't get their department head briefs uploaded in the right amount of time. So that was just on Dell's brief this morning. So I just included it. But
Gotcha.
yeah, that was it. Otherwise, it typically wouldn't be. It would only be things that were really important. So that's good feedback. I appreciate that. With that, I'm going to move. I know that the clerk of the board update is here, and they've got a couple of things on the agenda. So Barb, you want to go ahead?
I will, thank you. Good morning, commissioners. I'll give you a copy of that. It's that time of the year where the board needs to decide which boards and committees you want to be a part of for next year. So here's the draft resolution from last year. If you could please review it, excuse me, and then we will bring it up again so that you guys can rock, paper, scissors, who wants to do what. I know ledge steering was a topic from WASAC earlier last week. So Kevin, if you want to transition that to Rob or Cindy, or if you want to continue that, that was one of the questions. But please take a look at what is on for next year and have some ideas on how to proceed. The other one is the appointment of the chair, vice chair, excuse me, and member for 2026. So the board needs to think about the transition there, how you would like to move forward. So I'll be bringing this up each week in case you have any questions until you're ready to decide and make that decision. And then we can draft the resolution for signature. Excuse me. For next year also. Do you have any questions on any of that?
I have no questions, Barb. I'll look at it when I get in there.
Okay, perfect. If you don't,
Right.
please.
Usually you start as vice chair if you would like to move up to vice chair. It's really hard to get thrown in because everything is so new. If you'd be willing to move up to vice chair, and if Rob wants to continue being the chair, unless you want to be chair, but sometimes it just takes a while to get into synchronize on a hearing. Even I will get, if there's an interruption, I will like, wait, where was I at on that rolling through? So I'd be willing to be chair if Rob wants to continue one more year, but it wouldn't be very nice to throw you in as chair.
I'll agree with that. So it'd be nice.
Which part?
Not be a chair. It takes a little bit of time to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't mind the committees I'm on. You know, I'm just to move from those committees to a new list of committees, I think would be, I don't know, it's helpful to stay in the same committee so that you're just getting started. I mean, so for me, I'm new to all these, and so it'd be nice to stay in it for another year at least.
And maybe Rob
That
said
way.
if they want to change.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Were you willing to do ledge steering?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. It's just, it's hard. Scheduling is difficult with everything that's going on, but that's okay. I have friends that live in Olympia, so.
You have people.
In case Rob wanted to do it this year, next year.
Okay. Well, that's usually the
That's
one who wants to take it, who's willing to take on ledge steering.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to do it, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's for the three of you to discuss at one of your meetings. So I'm just bringing this forward so you can all talk about it and decide what you'd like for
Okay, thank you, Barb.
2026. Yeah. Do you need me for anything else?
I don't.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Barb. Okay. We are in the process of scheduling meetings with Merchant McIntyre. I know I have one today. Merchant McIntyre, of course, is the federal lobbyist firm to help us with earmarks and grants. We're meeting with Susie Fody today, Nathan Poplowski this week, next week, Public Works, and I've got dates and times out for everybody else. Interestingly, you know, when you look on I gave you all a packet. On the top of the packet is a one-page called Ideal Resource Inventory that the suggested meetings are for Grant County to figure out how best they can help us. So for me, there's a number of things that are highlighted: surface transportation, solid waste, justice center expansion. We might be able to get some money back on that. Behavioral, mental health, and substance use disorder services, emergency operations, veterans, homeless services. A lot of these things, you know, are going to be very impactful for us if those opportunities present themselves. But as you look at that list, you really see a lot of things where we can partner with our municipal neighbors. You know, water and wastewater is a big deal for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Natural gas and utilities is big for all of those, as well as the PUD. And then, well, all of them are, but those are some of the bigger ones. Friday, I had the opportunity to have lunch with Ray Towery from the city of Ephrata, Pat Haley from the city of Quincy, and Rob Carlindsey from the city of Moses Lake. Rob Carlindsey had asked for the meeting. He wanted to share Moses Lake's advocacy agenda and their legislative agenda. And as you read through it, you know, it's a hit list on that Merchant McIntyre list for us. And I've invited him to sit into some of the meetings just so that he could hear what they are and what they do and see if there's opportunity for them. I think there's a lot of opportunity, of course, for us to partner on things in the future. Who knows what that looks like? You know, whether they help pay for it or if there's an interlocal agreement, but you don't know if you don't at least sit in and have the discussions. So I'm looking forward to doing that with Rob. And I left. I'm not going to go through their advocacy agenda, but it's there for you to read. And if you have any questions, we can follow up. It was a good lunch. We're going to continue it. We have another one in January we're hosting. We'll have it here, and we'll see. We'll try and we'll keep this as a regular thing. It's nice to be a part of it. The early legislative bills have dropped. I have an entire Excel spreadsheet, but to highlight some of them, HB 2089 supporting wildfire mitigation. I've sent that off to Nathan. He is aware of it. We're going to stay in touch on that. I sent one to Decorah, HB 5091, requiring public employers under Chapter 41 to provide employee information to exclusive bargaining representatives. So I'm going to make sure that these get passed along and that we're staying at least on top of these and know what they mean and what they do. 2094 it came up again. This is a holdover from the last session requiring coroners to be appointed rather than elected. Our coroner is actively fighting that. HB 2097 authorizing counties to impose a business and occupation tax, which is a new one. Not that we would, but out there. And HB 2100 enacting an excise tax on large operating companies on the amount of payroll expenses above the minimum wage threshold of the traditional Medicare tax to fund services to benefit Washington and establish the Well Washington Fund account. Obviously, this is something that might affect some of the largest employers in the county, so it's something to keep an eye on. Interesting one, SB 5819, ensuring paid protester services are considered a temporary staffing service and subject to tax, which is be interesting to see who our paid protesters are. And Senate Bill 5820 concerning the responsibility of certain counties to include freight rail dependent use overlay as part of their transportation element of the comprehensive plan. I've sent that off to Jim to see if we're subject to that. We may or may not be.
But it is in our plan, so we are okay on our Quadco plan.
Yeah, and I just don't know if the new the new Senate bill requires anything additive.
Okay.
So just again, I'll see these things and pass them on to the department heads that they impact the most, and go from there.
Just when they're on the freight plan, they are subject to the grants and their federal funding. So that's why they like to be on the plan.
Sure. No, that makes sense. The, with that, I need to go into executive session to discuss personnel disciplinary matters. And you guys don't want to lump things together, right?
Cindy, will you announce that, please?
Yeah, how long do you need, Tom?
Probably 10 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna go into executive session for 10 minutes from 8:46 to 8:56.
Do you think
And
you're
it's
gonna take any
RCW.
action? No, okay.
What was the RCW employee review for
Disciplinary action.
disciplinary
Or
action?
4230.110.
1F, okay.
We're gonna extend executive session 5 more minutes to 9:01. We'll extend executive session 5 more minutes to 9:06.
Finish, are we out?
9:06, we are out of executive session.
I did send an email to Mandy last week regarding budget, about year-end budget extensions. I explained in years past that typically accounting had some idea where department budgets were, and we would get some notification, hey, even though, I mean, my feeling is departments should be tracking their own budgets, and it's kind of a backup. We always did get that backup, and that's the operating norm, is that we would get this letter saying year-end budget extensions are coming, and your department needs this or needs that, or what have you. And that's always been tracked in the past, and we have not received a notification from Amanda or Mandy or anybody in accounting. So I did send an email, it has gone unanswered, requesting what the status of that was, if she was going to do it, because the 9th, as tomorrow, is the deadline for the clerk of the board to get the advertisement out for the year-end budget extension. So if we don't have something from accounting, then we don't have a way to advertise for the year-end budget extensions. So it just, so I did send that email. I'm going to ask again today during the budget meeting, are we doing that? Or are we not doing that? Do you have some kind of an idea where we are? Because it does. And I explained that it had to be advertised by tomorrow. So we'll see what happens today. Last year she did do that. It was kind of last minute. She did send notification out to most of the departments, but nothing yet this year. So, but we're at the 11th hour.
The board's scheduled to meet with her today, other than this afternoon's meeting with her, the auditor. I haven't looked at the agenda, I apologize.
No, we have the assessor.
Oh, okay.
And I thought Friday Daryl was gonna have some numbers. I was gonna try to get some numbers so that we will know, and then he will anticipate what is to come in for the rest of the month, because it's kind of where.
I didn't see him Friday. Thursday, I met with him, and we talked about a couple of things, but he didn't have numbers then. So, and Friday I did meet with the Superior Court judges and discuss the jail, future of law in courts. It was just kind of an open discussion and a kind of a see you later to Tyson, but I'll look forward to working with Anna more. She's got a lot of thoughts on the jail. I'd love to hear them. So I'm hoping to get some time with her to discuss any issues that she has. So.
Yeah, the last I heard on Thursday, maybe it was Friday, I don't know, days are just, and they're all running together. I went down and talked to Matt about numbers from the assessor's office to give to Daryl.
Yeah.
And Melissa wasn't in, so he was gonna leave a note Friday that she was supposed to be on Friday. And she has the numbers, but I still haven't seen them, and I don't know if Daryl has.
Well, I can go up and double check with Daryl this morning before the meetings today and see if he has been able to compile anything and see where we're at. But again, you know, we asked departments to do a 2% budget cut. We don't really know where we are, and I'm not opposed to budget cuts or anything. It's just the fact that we don't know where we are. It just makes it really weird.
Well, I think just on the commissioner's budget, the 2% cut was on a probably my fault again. I didn't have we didn't have all of our travel added in, and so it was actually a bigger cut than.
Just for me, it's that we're making cuts when we didn't. Obviously, we knew we had to cut something, but without having a solid understanding of where we sat, it was hard to do. So, and I would say also that we do, I did ask, so Daryl mentioned that the $3 million, you heard him talk about unresolved funds. Those were public works funds. I know that Public Works was looking at that to see if that would have any impact on any shortfall that we had. I don't know that it does, but they were looking at that as late as Friday. And also we identified that, if we wanted to give $2 million back out of an operating transfer from GCTS, we probably could. But we just won't know how that affects us until we get later on in the year. So potentially there's some, a couple of $1 million laying out there that we can use, but we just have to, we'll wait until this afternoon on that. So
Yeah, because
we'll see
sometimes
where
our
we're at.
transfer,
We just don't know where we're at.
there are times when TS doesn't get their full transfer because they haven't upgraded or,
Right.
I don't know, the equipment,
and
anyway.
we
So
don't
it
have
was kind of
anything
a
in-
forecast, and so,
Yeah,
I
we
mean, in the
don't-
past, they have saved that and it's significant.
I did confirm, we don't have anything in reserves, so I did confirm that.
Everything's a current transfer.
That's what I've got today. Any questions for me?
No,
Okay.
nothing else. All right, it's 9:12. We're going to recess and be back at 9:30. Good morning, it's 9:30 a.m. and we are here for a Development Services Update with Jim Anderson.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Sorry for my voice. Not feeling all that great this morning, but we're going to get through it. So the big news from last week, I'm sure the board knows, maybe not, but the Colville tribe has dropped their LUPA appeal. Don't know if you guys saw that in your email or not, but we had been going back and forth. They had asked for an extension. The hearing was supposed to take place in Superior Court on Friday at 9 o'clock. Thursday, they had asked for an extension. And I think Commissioner Burgess, you had commented on it. We elected to not to grant them that extension, and then they ended up withdrawing. So that's good news. So that one's behind us. So next Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we have our annual comprehensive plan amendment hearing with the Board of County Commissioners. And I just wanted to take this half hour to go through the 9 applications that we have this year. A lot easier than the applications from last year. For Commissioner Burgess and for Tom, let me explain what it is you're looking at. So the process, and I'm just gonna run through it. So applicant makes an application for a comprehensive plan amendment. That could be a zone change, or it could be a change to the Unified Development Code text. We process the application, we put it in front of the board to ask that it be placed on the docket. We send it to the Department of Commerce and internal and external agencies for a 60-day comment period. We collect those comments, we assemble it in the form of a staff report. We get on the docket with a public hearing in front of the Planning Commission. Staff makes a recommendation to the Planning Commission to make a recommendation to the board. That hearing takes place. We then take the minutes, create another staff report, which is what's in front of you, and present the findings or the recommendation from the Planning Commission to the Board of County Commissioners. So inside of this document, you're going to see staff report to the Board of County Commissioners with the recommendation from the Planning Commission. You're going to find the minutes from the open public meeting. In this case, it was October the 8th from the Planning Commission. You're going to find the staff report that I presented to the Planning Commission, which has the details of the change. And you're going to find the application attached to the staff report that was presented to the Planning Commission. Okay. Inside of the staff report for the Board of County Commissioners, you'll see that there's a Planning Commission recommendation, and there's also a motion. So with, with the staff reports that include just a Unified Development Code text amendment, there's only going to be one motion. When there's a zone change and a comprehensive plan change, there's going to be two motions. And then, of course, there's multiple findings of fact depending on what it is that we're looking at. So the very first one that we're going to hear on Tuesday is an application from a constituent. Her agent is Columbia Northwest, an engineering company, and the long and short of it is that Ms. Heilig is looking to change the Unified Development Code and allow for clustering in the open space conservation designation in Grant County. So long and short, what that means is currently we allow in the ag designations the ability to create parcels smaller than 40 acres, primarily for the siting of a single family residence and or the separation of an existing homestead off the corner of a pivot. We have a lot of this scenario, and Ms. Heilig is one of them that has a single family residence in an open space conservation designation, which happens to be under production right now. And for estate planning purposes, she wishes to amend the code to allow for the segregation of her home site off of the irrigated pivot. We've run into this in the past. And so the planning department supported this change to the code. The planning commission supported it as well. So the three of you will be taking that up next Tuesday. The second one is an application for a code amendment that was put forward by my office, by Grant County, and it's to be compliant with Washington State's second House Bill 5290, which we call the stop clock bill, which basically updates our code to reflect changes to the time we are required to process certain types of permits, land use permits in the county throughout the state. Effectively, we already had code in our UDC that required that we processed permits in a timely fashion. This just amended that code, and it actually took it from 120 days to 170 days in certain cases. So again, this is just some text changes to be compliant with Senate Bill 5290. Third up.
Just really quick,
Yeah,
I hate to
yeah.
interrupt. We're talking about 120. I think in the past, 2007, 2008, 2009, you were horrible. But I would say your team has really stepped up, and we don't have the complaints that we did. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I will mention that, sorry, I hate to bring it up, budget, right? So I had put several asks in my budget, and one of them this year was some monies to overhaul our permit software system to be compliant with this Senate bill. And so what that'll do is it'll give us, myself and Michelle, more visibility to our compliance. So stop clocks. And I removed some luxury items from the budget as was asked, but I'm hoping to be able to keep the monies that I have slated for SmartGov to be compliant with this bill, just to ensure that we're.
So the SmartGov, will that be housing historical documents on it?
Yeah, it will.
We'll have historical, so we can use our historical. How much is it?
26,000.
I think we can. Remind me, Tom, when we get there. There was some, because I'll be thinking, oh, there's something we can put in there. Okay,
Yeah.
I think we can do, those are typically historical.
Yeah, and it's
We can take it out of your budget and put it, or at least give you funding out of that account for it.
yeah, thank you. And it's just a one-time overhaul. This won't be a reoccurring expense. It's to have Granicus come in, kind of overhaul our land use, the land use portion of our SmartGov operating system to give us visibility from the time. And you'll see, I mean, you guys can dive into the weeds if you want. you'll see all the text amendments that talk about this, but it'll give us visibility from the time an applicant makes application, we make it procedurally complete. We have 28 days to send you a notice of procedurally complete. Clock starts, we send it out for agency review, you know, bang, 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 bang. Our software is sending us reminders, sending the planners reminders to ensure that, you know, that we're hitting all of our targets so that we don't have situations like we have had in the past ever happen again. I mean, this is something that, it also sends out notifications properly too. So things are happening in the background so that we don't find ourselves in a situation like we found ourselves in with Colvin. So 26,000 to save millions, in my opinion. So the next one is again, another application put forward by my office, just cleaning up, you know, a long list. You know, what I do every single year is, as I'm running into stuff in our code, my employees come up, customers come up, hey, I'd like to fix this, tweak this, do that. That's what this application is. It's just a bunch of little tweaks. One of those tweaks is, you know, state law allows for you to take up to 5 years to record a short plat, but our code says you have a year. And that creates chaos for me. You know, and Kevin, you're smiling, and I know what you're smiling about. We have a mutual friend, and this is to clean that up. So one of many things. It also removes language in our code in and around condominiums. I don't have the authority to approve or deny condominiums. We haven't since 2018, so that strikes that from the Unified Development Code. So those are the 3 UDC comprehensive plan changes that are on the docket this year. Now we go into, you know, the ones that are, you know, we see every single year. So the first one is the 6-year transportation, the TIP. So every single year we have to update that transportation improvement plan. So Dave Bren, while he was here, was kind enough to update that for Public Works. So this is just that mandatory update to the 6-year transportation improvement plan. Hopefully we'll have an engineer in place to help us put that plan together again for next year, and we'll do that every single year going forward. Next one is the annual update to the economic development element, Appendix J. This is that rolling list of projects for those SIP projects that have to be on our comprehensive plan in order for us to be able to fund those. We've been doing that since 2022. And this is that list that Carrie operates off of in the commissioner's office to be able to, again, fund those grants. So that's our new updated list. So in 2025, you'll see that there's almost $70 million worth of eligible projects on the SIP this year. Then getting into constituent applied for individual site-specific comprehensive plan amendments. The very first one is brought forward to us by Tomer Construction Company. And this one is just an expansion of an existing MRO. It's a site down in Warden that is an existing surface mining operation, and Tomer is wishing to expand that by 11 acres. So to do that, we have to expand the mineral resource overlay map so that they can then come in right behind this amendment and file for a conditional use permit to expand that operation. Pretty straightforward. Next one is, again, brought forward by Tomer. This is a site-specific comprehensive plan amendment and rezone. So they're asking to rezone a parcel area that is currently designated as rural remote to rural residential 1. This is off of Road A and is adjacent to a project that they just platted that was also rural residential 1. There's currently a private road that runs through this parcel that accesses the project that they just platted. So this would clean that up and is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the development that's in the surrounding area. Next one is another one brought by Tomer. They're busy this year. And this is in a Lammert, but we're not expanding the
It is
boundary.
or isn't?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. So this is the Naylor intersection. This redesignation is within the boundary of the existing Ephrata 3 Lammert. I would encourage you to take a look at, in your free time, to look at the map materials that are in the application so you get an idea of what it is they're looking to do. It is supported by the county. It's supported by the Department of Commerce. They are just redesignating an area within that Lammert from light industrial to rural commercial. I believe about 25 acres of the 41 acres in that intersection. And then the last one is out off of Road Q in Quincy. We've got, it's a 400 acre parcel area spanning 3 parcels. It's got 3 different owners. We've got Paul Morris, Stephen Morris, and Larry and Julie Chapin. And it is a down zone similar to what we had processed last year. And they're asking to down zone from rural residential 1 to rural remote. The parcel area doesn't have access to any road network, and there's no water out there to speak of. And again, very similar to what we did out off of Adams, if I recall. Got
Is
some
this
public.
the same type of thing?
Yeah, got some public feedback, although not at the scale and intensity as last year. We had 1 public comment on this one.
And these owners are doing it together?
Yeah.
There's talk of solar out there. Is that what their
Yeah.
point is?
It would be an allowed use, yeah.
Weird that Larry's on there with that, but.
But remember,
Yeah.
we can't talk about what is going on after. We can only address what's in front of us.
Yeah, so spend some time on that one.
Mhm.
The application materials, they address all of the allowed uses in the down zone. They left a significant parcel area that's accessible off of Road Q in the RR1 designation. So there is some ability for residential development. There's still some ability to develop residentially. That does have access to roads. But yeah, the rest of it, there's quite they did a good job in developing a matrix of allowed uses. It does open up quite a bit of uses, and solar is one of them. There is a transmission line that runs through it. Speaking of solar, we have quite a few applications through that Quincy corridor, and I've taken in a pre-application from a company that I've been working with for quite a while, and he's probably outside of the developer in Royal Slope, probably one that I've worked with the most and the longest, and he's pulling back on the application because he believes that the PUD is not, they're kind of behind the times, and they're not going to provide the connections that everybody thinks that they're going to provide. That they've offered the 3, and that's kind of where it's going to land for now. So I don't know. Like I've said before, I think that these folks will pursue a conditional use permit approval, and then that's maybe where it's going to land for a while. Because if they can't connect to the grid, they're not going to
But
build it.
they'll have other opportunities. Solar isn't the only game in town.
Right.
So they have other options.
But
Okay.
so in any event, that's the docket this year. I mean, I think we
Is this
have.
the one that had the most, since I just got, is this the one that has the most probably public comment on it?
Yeah, and there was one public comment Well, there was a couple. I mean, if you read through the planning commission staff report, you'll see some feedback. And the one, the most detailed one came from Miss Oberon, who I think lives on the East Coast. So, and they're all valid. They're valid concerns, but I'm not expecting it to be like it was last year. But I pushed it to the end because I think that we'll probably move through this docket pretty quick. There's not a whole lot to it. A lot of the stuff we do every single year is pretty, it's pretty easy. But it'll allow time for this one should there be folks in attendance.
When you do your lands analysis next year, are you going to take water availability into account on zoning?
Yeah.
I just don't like to see the residential one get removed because, like if I was buying, that's what I want to buy in is residential county, right? So, and there's not a lot of it.
Yeah.
So taking it out kind of sucks.
Yeah, and we're doing.
If there's no water,
right.
Then it never should have been in it. So
there was a lot of discussion. You'll see in the minutes. There's a lot of discussion in that area. It's varied. There, depending on who you talk to, and there's a real estate agent that sits on that planning commission that pretty consistently states that it's 600-700 feet down out there, and hit or miss. But you just don't know. But yeah, the lands analysis is underway right now. And we have, to that end, so we're in full swing on the comprehensive plan update, and our consultant is in town this week hosting town hall interviews. We've got a packed house in the office tomorrow. And then Wednesday in Quincy, and then Thursday in Moses Lake. So
that is for people to give their opinions on that?
Not specifically on water, but just in general.
On zoning? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we get that out to the people that we've been telling we would involve them.
Yeah, I mean, it's blasted all over the place. I sent out over 250 invitations, and people, they waited and now can't get in, but we're in. So we made the determination of significance, and we're scoping right now the environmental impact statement. We've got another week to go. We'll probably scope it twice if I had to guess, based off of the feedback that we're hoping to receive, which is why this week is so important. But what'll happen is we'll get the feedback this week, put together a response matrix, and then I'll present that to the planning commission and ultimately to you three, and then probably will help lead the discussion on, this isn't going to happen overnight, but we'll lead the discussion on a second round of scoping so we can take a deeper dive into it.
So you said it's plastered everywhere. I'm a lot of places. I've not. It's like I didn't even know this was going to go on until just right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we had it at lead, and
yeah,
it's on our websites, and I mean, it's not. We don't have a social media account.
No, I know. So I would like, just send me what you can so I can make sure I tell the people that I've been telling, I would let them know.
Okay.
Because there's a handful.
Yeah, we can do that.
I thought for some reason it was in the spring. I didn't realize it was right now, so.
It's ongoing.
Going forward, some of that stuff I could put on my Facebook page. Continuing to build that. I mean, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's what we were attempting to do with, all the table tents and all the poster boards and, the QR codes and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I saw them. I didn't do it.
That's what I'm gonna send you. And that's what's on.
You need that back. There's that.
That's for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I made a binder for everybody.
I have at 5 o'clock. I'm sorry, 5 minutes from Barbara.
That's fine. Yeah, if you just email me the QR, then I'll just go into it, and then I'll just send it out to all of those people. They're just large landowners that don't understand parts and like to give their opinions, so I feel like that would be good.
Yeah. Well, that's what I have for this week. I mean, I'm sure that'll spur some questions.
Thanks for your time this afternoon with Ken.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just educational for him. We're meeting with Ken Murray from Ephrata Schools to talk shrub set on some land they purchased for their pond initiative, that kind of stuff, so.
And it's in county, apparently. Okay.
Any questions for Jim?
Not at the moment.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Good.
We'll go into recess until 10 a.m. when we're back for our assessor's office update. Good morning, it's 10 a.m. and we are here for an assessor's update with Melissa McKnight.
Notices went out December 1st.
Got them, thanks,
And the-
appreciate it.
Appeal period ends December 31st, and we are extremely busy with phone calls and people in the office. And whatever this crud is that's going around,
It's probably
my,
COVID. No, I'm
my
kidding.
office has it. No, many people have gone. It's just, I don't know, it's
I'm
kind of a
joking.
respiratory thing, but
Okay, Melissa, I have a question
yes.
for myself.
Okay.
I agree with assessment value of a property I have.
Mhm.
I don't agree with it doubling in 1 year to get there. Why would it do that, and why wouldn't it gradually increase over time? Why would it all
And that's what we're trying to do.
come
So,
at once?
so last year, Department of Revenue said I was at 74%. This year I'm at 80, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, but that's a 6% increase, not a 100%.
Were you in your area of visual? Were you in
So-
Rose?
Mixture. Oh, were they? I
Like,
don't know.
oh, for reval? So I'm
Maybe.
trying to think you were.
Not my house.
Oh,
My house, that thing just fucking goes as high as it can go.
watch your language. We're at a public meeting.
Yeah, well, that's how I feel about it. But the other one, it doubled, which I was like, I don't disagree with the assessment. I just think it's odd that it would just double. Because you can't plan rents on double, right? We have a
Right.
small increase we can do in Washington now, so.
The problem what we're seeing is eventually we have to do something. I honestly thought things would start coming down sooner, and they didn't. I'm kind of banking on this being the year that sales actually start to lower.
Yeah,
But we're still seeing sales. I don't know why people are paying what they're paying. I think that'd be more of a question for,
well, yeah, and I get that, it's just like I don't know, I would assume it would go like that and not just,
and that's what I try to do. If there was something that it did something like that I would call on, because there might be something in the build. Or there might be something so we value in Marshall and Swift, which is a module outside of PAX. I was just talking to these guys about it today. When we pull the reports from PAX, that's a separate screen. So if an appraiser misses changing on the PAX side what they did in Marshall and Swift, and we pull the sales and PAX pulls it off of the PAX, which that's something I'm going to be working with them. We want them to pull off the Marshall and Swift data. So if you might have something over here that's at a at a good quality or at average good, and maybe it's in average over here, then we might be marketing them incorrectly. That is a possibility. Usually it goes the other way around, but we want to be right, so call.
Yeah,
So we
what
can
I'm
go through
saying
it.
is I agree with assessed value. I just don't understand it doubling, you know, not, siding has changed on 4 buildings, but as far as other things, no. So that's where I guess I'm just kind of confused.
It would be all on sales,
Yeah, and there are no
all based on sales.
common sales.
So that's an income property, isn't it?
Yeah, and it has been for the previous owners as well.
I mean, we could do an income approach,
That's what
but we'd need income every year, yeah.
You need to do in the 30 days, or does he have to appeal it?
Everybody would have to appeal at this
Okay.
point, yeah. We had to certify because of how late we are. Normally, we get the notices out
Wait,
prior to certifying.
income approach.
Like I said,
Every
I have no
farmer,
issue with
every
the
farmer
assessed.
will be getting a rebate. I love this.
Yeah, the only issue with the income approach is we require income every year.
Okay, I don't know. With
And the minute you
orchard-
don't give it to us, we go right back to the cost approach.
Okay. Oh, that's a good thing.
You're probably losing money.
Probably. Think there's a reason they're all getting ripped out?
How's income approach work?
Yeah, let's talk about
It's a
this.
whole different so it'd be, the value would be based on the income of the commercial property.
And your cap rate and all that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be bad though if you had like a vacation rental that you only rented the minimum amount of time, but it was a secondary property? But it was just, you kept it empty on purpose, but then that would lower your taxes. Wouldn't that be a bad thing?
Depends on how you're looking at it. Are you looking at it as an owner? or are
I'm
you
looking at it
as-
on both sides.
You're looking at it like property tax, like,
I'm just looking at the whole
I mean-
picture. Listen, like, I'm gonna make my complaints when I have them personally, right? But I also try to look at both sides.
I mean, for the individual, it would work
Be great.
great.
Yeah, I just wondered if there
If
was
you're
like a base
asking as a
amount.
county commissioner, yeah, it would lower the value of the of whatever district, yeah.
Yeah, but I think you still have to look
Generally.
at the fact that, like, if it's a waterfront,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
If they're not renting it all year round because they're using it part of the time, you know, you can't go by.
Yeah, we
the
can't,
approach.
we can't value based on bad business decisions. So it'd be like, is this being rented out the whole time? It would be based on this amount, it would be this amount.
so on
it's
that,
a
I'm
different
just thinking
approach.
for, where would the orchardist find the information to do the income approach?
Call into the office.
Okay.
Yeah.
One time, yeah, it's crazy what they were selling the orchards for.
I mean,
which
we've
I
had
read
people
it
go
from-
the income approach and then when they got their value, they're like, no, let's go back, let's
Oh,
go
okay,
back.
it's not always.
But
No, it's
There
been
is that.
bad for several years.
But we have had, especially for commercial rentals, we've had, mom and pop companies do it that way for a few years and then they forget and then we just kind of play the game. It's like, okay, we can't hold your hand because we don't have the staff for that. This is what we require every year by this date.
I do have a question about do you have the map for that Fire District 6?
I do not.
You do not. Who would I get that map from? You know, who's got a map of that area?
I have one that we drew. It's kind of a piecemeal pages. I think I still have it when we were going through all of that. I'll look. I'll scan it and email it to you if I have.
Yeah, I need that so I can help them get a legal description for that.
Let me ask Matt, because Matt, I think there were like 3 of us that did it. of the north portion.
Yeah, because the other part's
Was by,
not included yet.
that was by, that was annexed by parcel, individual signatures of parcels.
That would be a separate legal description then, not in that.
Yeah.
To include that into District 6.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, if I can get that information, then I can hopefully get them a legal and get that taken care of.
Okay. Other than that, I'm working on building the LTIF module in the system. It's kind of hard to do when you're answering phones, but I'm gonna do it in the training first. But and I need some fund numbers. I'm gonna have to get from Daryl to set that up. But hopefully that will be done within the week. Knock on wood. Because we'll be starting the levy process here within 2 weeks. It'll take about a month. Fun stuff. Other than that, we're also working on our field modules. We're doing testing for that, getting them up and running so our appraisers can be entering in the field.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
Save a lot of time.
Had some testing issues in our meeting last week. So we had to continue our meeting. At some point this week, we'll have one. And then we'll get really deep into it. So we'll have to pause everything and get that done so we can get everybody out efficiently instead of the old paper. But they're already out in the field. So already started.
You guys are down Royal City this year, aren't you?
Royal and Mattawa, Mardon area. Yeah, south. That's for
It'll be a
5.
beautiful drive.
Yeah. They've been down there for about a week and a half. We have had some car issues. It'll be nice to have the new ones because one of the ones we're replacing keeps breaking down. They're like, isn't this what it's supposed to be replaced? Yeah. Okay. So a little Ford Focus just,
Bad time to be breaking down.
yeah.
A little cold out there.
Yeah, and we have a new appraiser. So we have an experienced appraiser out in her neighborhood when the new appraiser's out. So they're not very far from each other in case they need something. So we figured that would be best. Once the training portion, and she can do it on her own, talk to people, and they'll be out at the same time. But that's all I got.
Any questions?
Well, thank you, Ms.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to recess until 10:15 when we're back with Kim Allen. Good morning, it's 10:15 and we're here for a clerk's office update with Kim Allen.
Oh,
Howdy.
good. How are you? Is Cindy coming back?
She might be coming back, yes.
She might. Should I wait just a second?
No,
No.
she'll be a couple minutes.
Good. Well, I wanted to raise a concern and request a process. You might hear this from HR too. You might hear this from facilities and maintenance too. And you may have already heard it. I requested a report from Kevin and maintenance for a report that shows everybody that has badge access to my office. And I about fell out of my chair when I saw how many people were on it. I have 16 people in my office, and there were 166 people on the list that have access to my office. That's supposed to be restricted.
I have access to your office.
I saw that.
I've never used it, but I have it.
Well, and
And if I needed it, you would want me to have it.
yeah,
But I can't speak for the other 165.
and I don't have a problem with some of the people on the list. I just was questioning why
Why so many?
so many. Yeah,
I can see TS and facilities
right.
having it,
Yeah,
but I don't know who else has it.
TS comes and goes as they need to. Maintenance comes and goes as they need to.
I assume the three of us have access.
All three of you do.
Yeah.
But I had a question about that. I mean, it seems to me like the access should be as if you had a key. Have you had a key? Do you guys have a key
Mm-hmm.
that gets you everywhere? So you have a master key.
Yeah. Two of them.
So that makes total sense then, that if you, in the old days, you had a key, that you would have the same badge access.
Yeah, the one thing with the badge though, it records who's in there, and the key you wouldn't know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, when there's 16 people in my office and the list comes back with 166 people that can get in, I was floored by that. And then that made me ask questions to Kevin. I was like, well, who decides who gets access to other people's offices? Because a bulk of the ones that were on there were new, well, I can't even say new, but deputy sheriffs. And he's like, yeah, but they probably don't even know that they have that
What's that?
access. I'm like,
Accident.
well, why give them the access if they don't know that they have the access? That didn't make sense to me. My biggest problem is that I have to sign a affidavit or declaration, something every year with the federal government to be able to process the passport applications that says that my area is restricted. And I think if they were to ask me for a report of who could get in my office and saw 166 people instead of 16, they would probably be like, that doesn't seem very restricted. So it made me curious, and I emailed HR too, because it seems like as part of the new hire process, there should be like another form that we fill out saying, we hired this person, they need access to this store, this store, this store, this store, and the clerk's office for emergency purposes. And then that should go to me to say yay or nay. Seems like we need a process, and there is not one.
Right, so is Kevin gonna look into the accesses and maybe restrict them? I mean,
Well, I just don't
I don't
think
think
that
it's up to him.
other offices.
HR is who programs where badges have access.
okay.
But
I don't know that they
I
do.
don't know if it's
Kevin
HR, I
said,
don't know who does, because it used to
That was
be
HR.
Tom.
Kevin said he does it and that there's two other people in
Okay,
his
because Tom
department.
did have access, because we've given access apparently to our office to people who are like, how come they can just walk in whatever door? And they're like, we just give them access. Anyway, I know Tom did it one time. I don't know, but we need to probably really, I think
think
every
we need a
elected
process.
officials and department head needs to know who has access to their office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for you,
But yeah, that's the new one. I
that's
just
a little more
assumed,
secure.
yeah, you would have a say in who has access.
I mean, like right now, Decorah has access, Blair has access. I was surprised to see the three of you on there, but I'm fine
On
with
the
that.
building.
your
I don't,
buildings.
well, people tell me I have access, but when they tell me I don't have access to places that people tell me I do.
You do.
I think you guys
Your
have
key card should
all
open everything.
access.
You can't open sheriff things or dongle doors, but any of the,
No, it used to be able to, I could go see Tom, but it doesn't do that anymore, so I don't know.
I just think we need a
There's really
process.
no need for.
My suggestion to
carrying mine.
HR was maybe at our next elected department head meeting that'd be a topic of discussion.
Caitlin, can you please put that on? That is great. I think that's our second topic. I can't remember the first.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
What was the other thing I was gonna say?
deputies and things like that, I would not understand. I would understand why Blair would have access to doors and Decorah.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. So like my staff, my own staff don't have all access to our office.
Well, and I don't know.
They
why
can
Blair
come in
would
between
have it.
7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and outside of that, they can't get in.
And all
with
the
their
other
badge.
people?
And everybody else, all access,
Really?
always. There's absolutely no restriction.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's like, something about this doesn't seem quite right.
It sounds like a pretty simple fix, so I wouldn't worry too much about it other than it just getting brought to us with the.
Well, Kevin worked on whittling the list down for me to take off a bunch of the sheriff's deputies. I don't mind the higher ups having access because if there's an emergency, obviously I want them to have
They won't
access.
be there.
Maybe, maybe not. A bunch of them were jail staff. I mean, even like maintenance, the fairgrounds maintenance guys were on. Kevin's like, well, sometimes we pull them over.
Yeah, but they can just knock. Or they just say, hey, I need to come in to fix X.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's kind of what I thought too. It's like during the day, we're there, we're open. People can ask to come in.
Yeah, I don't.
That just surprised me. So I was letting you know my concern. Kevin said that there's a bunch of different, I mean, it's how they set it up for the badging, but there's a bunch of different like areas, and if you're designated, I don't know, like law and justice,
And
that
probably
means
have
it gets you in
To a lot of
all the exterior doors.
Well, maybe,
or
yeah, we probably need to.
There's a bunch of different setups and
Yeah, I'm sure they weren't doing it in spite of you. They
no,
probably just
no,
must
I
have it
think
automatic.
that it just never occurred to anyone that that might happen.
Well, there's cameras.
Well, Kevin brought that up. He
I'm
said,
not
well,
just gonna badger
you know,
to
the
your
badge
office.
report will show who's been in and out and the video will show who's been in and out. And I was like, okay, but that assumes that you know that someone has been in and out to ask for the report and the video footage.
Mhm.
If you don't know that they were in there, you know, they
I
can
would
go
just
in
say, just kind
with the
of
camera,
tighten it up who
phone,
needs
take
to be in there and
pictures.
just go that route.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
So I just think it's worthy of a discussion and a process. So that, I mean, it kind of protects Kevin too and his guys that they probably shouldn't be the ones making the decision on who's going in and out of different people's offices. So, that's all I got. We're gonna have a budget at 1 today?
Yep,
Really?
1 o'clock. Budget meeting.
Yeah, I don't know if Daryl has his numbers, but we'll see.
Okay.
Anything else for you?
Is there
Any
anything
questions
else
for
that
her?
you guys need from me, us?
Well, we need,
For
yeah,
budget.
maybe not for you, yes, we need a accurate account of what will be in the carryover or the reserve balance, that will make things so much easier.
Hmm.
I mean, extra 8-9 million will be
Have you asked us for that?
8 or 9 million.
Well,
Oh, no.
no.
No, that would be Daryl. Daryl will have those figures. Daryl, once he gets Daryl's kind of like the revenue, working with Missy as the revenue component of, and then making sure all the transactions are done. So it's kind of like a 3-part. Not just one person or one entity, but one department or office that has it. But we're getting closer.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll let us know if we need to take action.
For sure.
All right.
Thank you. We'll go into
see ya.
recess until 10:30 when we are back
Thank you,
with district court.
Kim. Instagram. post.
Good morning. It's 10:30 a.m. and we are here for a district court update with Desiree Ochocinski.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Judge Quinn's online.
We don't have much for you guys. We're just
And sometimes that's good.
busily working away on all the things, but as always, we just wanted to make an appearance and say hello. Make sure there's no major burning fires that you need to make us aware of. But
I don't think so. Usually we're the last ones
Doing
to
the
know, to
things.
find out about it in the paper, or I
Sure.
source one news, and Kevin's laughing. You're serious. I'm like, oh, didn't know that was going on.
we had worked out an agreed list of trainings for staff with HR and who, schedule for our employees. And so the employees that are doing trainings this year are steadily working their way through those and seem to be going okay. But otherwise, it's just business as usual. Case management system prep is taking up an astronomical amount of my time. But it is what it is. It'll be over eventually. I don't know. Just all the things. Judge Quinn, anything you want to add?
I can't think of anything right offhand. You guys have any questions for us?
No.
I don't have any right now.
Not yet, until we we're in your courtroom speeding, then we'll have plenty of questions.
That's why I'm online. I just took care of all the Moses Lakers for today.
Okay.
So
Look at that mustache.
at least you didn't think it was just the beard.
Well, it's Santa Claus. You could be, he's doing a Santa role.
I've never done a mustache ever in my life, so it's the first time.
Get ready for winter, huh?
I guess it's really irritating me. I think I got to let it go soon.
Well,
So I
thank you
guess
for joining us.
you'll have Judge Gwynn one more time before the end of the year. And then we'll have a change in presiding in January, and Judge Wallace will take over for 2026. And at this time, I don't know if he's planning to come to these update meetings or not. But we will know the first meeting in January.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
If
you.
there's nothing
Yeah.
else,
Merry
then we
Christmas.
will recess until 10:45.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya. Good morning, it's 10:45 a.m. and we're here for a commissioner work session. Do we have any items to discuss today?
I do not.
Barbara, Caitlin? Okay. Hold on.
Oh, if you have just an FYI, Barb already knows, a taxpayer lost their petition hearing this year, like, they had their hearing, they lost. They believe that they lost because of the relationship between Jerry and
Rhonda in the assessor's office. So they have done a public records request. I informed them that the commissioners are aware of their marriage. And I know that the Department of Revenue is aware because we have talked with them about it. They're doing a public records request for any documentation that might relate to that, basically. So just an FYI.
So the public records request, what are they searching for?
They are wanting if there were any emails from our office to or from the Department of Revenue about the relationship between Jerry and Rhonda. Basically, any written confirmation or anything like that from the Department of Revenue saying that it's fine, that they're there, that there is no conflict of interest for hearings.
So can we just get that and then provide it to them?
I am
We
not-
don't obviously have emails about that. She's
so
she's an office greeter. Doesn't do anything with any of that.
It went to Barb, I believe, for just because I
Records
was
request.
yeah. So they did the records request because I told them I was not sure if it was an actual like written documentation or if it was a phone call or something like that. So they wanted to do the public records request. So that's the route that we went down. But
I could see if it would be a conflict if they were both on the board, but she doesn't have anything to do with it.
and it seems to be coming up because she sat in the gallery during their hearing, which I did remind them that it is an open public meeting or a public hearing that anybody can sit in the gallery. And they tried asking if the board's decision was swayed because of the relationship between those two, and I informed them that I could not tell, couldn't say that, as I would not think so, because she is not the appraiser of your property, she was not actually active in your hearing, so.
Well,
But-
you have to have more than one person can't sway it. The other two vote, and that other person could be completely out of it. They could go the other direction, so that just doesn't make sense to me.
I tried explaining the process a little bit, but they chose to do the public records request route.
In other words, they just weren't happy with the fact that they lost.
Leave no stone unturned, maybe is what they're thinking.
Yeah, and try everything they can to
It's the first I've heard
get
of
it
it.
overturned.
I did refer them to the Board of Tax Appeals also because they had asked who the next person would be to talk to. They have already reached out to the BTA and were given a pretty long wait time before they got a response. BTA, so it feels like, yeah, maybe this is a.
Yes, they can.
Isn't the Department of Revenue over that board technically?
Yeah, it'd be the Board of Tax Appeals that their petition would have to go to next, once the board's already ruled, but yes, the Department of Revenue is over them and.
How many petitions do we have this year?
So far, we're at 21. 2 of them have already been withdrawn. I've mailed out and talked to probably 50 people so far, just asking for a petition, but I haven't gotten it back yet, so. I've received 2 of them. I need to contact the petitioner because one's not complete and the other one is just, it looks like just a Scrivener's error, so I just need confirmation about that. But
That's not too bad so far.
the first 11 petitions, 10 petitions were all the data centers. So Lamb Weston withdrew 2 of theirs. They still have 2 that are sitting, but the first 10 are ones that we received before the July 1st deadline.
So Caitlin, you were on number 6. I was contacted about number 6. The marketing development contract with Truly Creative.
Yes.
Sounds like it maybe was not a unanimous vote to move forward with that one.
It was not, no. I believe Cam
abstained. Let me pull up my. But I believe she was the only one that,
So she abstained, she did not,
she voted against.
okay. And
But-
everybody else voted for, there were enough votes.
Correct.
Is that on this week's agenda?
Yeah.
Yes, legal reviewed it already, they passed.
Well, there were some, I think some concerns, did they get their concerns answered when we met with the board earlier?
So they reviewed the contract with the changes that Rochelle had made, and then they requested that it be sent to legal to start the process for review. I think to see what legal might say about the new inclusions, but legal did not express any concerns about it, so now, so I asked tourism to make a motion to recommend approval to the commissioners, because that's the normal route. Their last motion was just to send it to legal, which that was what they did. The motion was made to recommend approval of the contract to the board, and that was what passed with only one voting against. So they had quite a lot of discussion about it, but no changes were made to what Rochelle added.
Thank you for your follow-up on that.
Could you hand me that folder? I'd like to just look at the actual stuff. On just the one, I don't like that one, so.
We have a lot of LTAC agreements.
Okay, you said, get them all done, and I said, good deal. So I did. I staggered the flags too. No, it'd be easier when one's been signing.
Number 6 is on there, thinking about it. separate. PMR has been canceled, is that right?
I don't know what I think. I think it's a step to where we're trying to go, on one hand.
I can elaborate on the discussion that was, what they had, if you'd like.
Well, the problem I have with it is that they're fighting on one side for us to not do that. But then they just approved that. So in my mind, it's like, well, that kind of takes care of like part of it. But I don't think she does a great job. So I guess that's where I struggle with it a little bit. Because you're basically like giving the keys to someone you wouldn't give your keys to. But it's county money, it's not my money, so I don't like that type of feeling. But it's in the direction that I think we were trying to go. Just not going through the correct process to get there. It's like if we're going to do that, then we should do a request for proposal. Like open it up to people that do it all the time and put a smaller budget. I mean, they're putting a larger budget in because they have it. Whereas if we're going to actually go in that direction, it'd be nice to shrink the budget and see what we get. Any thoughts since you sit in there? No? Okay. I understand. I mean, can we go month to month on the contract that exists now? And not sign a 2026 contract? I mean, we have the tourism study going on, basically. It'd be nice to complete that and then decide what we want to do going forward versus being locked in once we get that study and then waiting.
I know you guys had discussed previously having it be just a 5 or 6 month contract rather than the full year.
Yeah, I would like to do monthly until we get the DMO stuff back. Like basically the marketing plan.
Well,
And then go from there.
their contract ends at the end of this year. They didn't complete an LTAC grant application, so they won't have, Beckwith Consulting won't have any further funding past the end of the year.
Well, that was on us.
Fill out it was part of their deal. They had to fill out the grant application.
Well, when we funded it, it was from us doing the LTAC.
Was Carrie online? I can ask her too.
I believe so.
Okay, I have a question, and I brought this up before, like Renew has employees, I'm looking at their timesheet, and it says when they're out. I feel like we need to either take out their name or blot it out. I don't know if necessarily that's something that the public needs to have access to, this employee's time card for everybody to see. But maybe it's just me, but
That's actually a great question as we
I don't think.
transition to time clocks. Is time clock data going to be a public record?
Well, that's okay, but to single out just a couple employees, so it's not even her hours, it's her time clock when she goes to the doctor or whatever. She has jury duty, it's listed.
Gotcha.
I just feel like, block out her name, we don't need to know.
Yeah.
I just feel like, Carrie, is there an opportunity for us to do that?
Yeah, I can request to the subs to redact that, or I can do it myself, either way.
Well, and maybe you can reach out to, I mean, maybe it's fine, it's supposed to be on there, but I would reach out to HR because I feel like there's some things on here that we are probably submitting that, if you can work with Decorah on that. Maybe it's
Okay.
on there, but I kind of feel like we're kind of crossing the line on that.
All right.
Thank you, Carrie.
Yes.
You had a question about the card access?
I did share that. Yeah, Kim was in about card access and we were trying to figure out who grants card access. She said it was kind of like we have different levels of it.
Well, she said 165 people had access to her office, and she has a staff of 16, and they don't have access at all times to their office.
I don't know if it was fully 165. What's interesting about that is we thought that was all taken care of, and apparently it's not if she brought it to you, because she's met with Kevin 3 times over that now, and it was all good. But
Well, she was like, it discussed in a month or in a department head luncheon, basically to have a process of how access is granted and who know, like everybody knowing who has access, basically. So it's probably taken care of,
all they have to do is ask.
but
I mean, we have an automated report every month that goes to Michelle. She wants one because of the HAVA grant. So, oh, okay, great, no problem. So boom, every 30 days, she gets an automated report sent to her. You know?
of who's been in
Yeah,
or who
yeah.
has access.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole thing. It's who's got access and all of the entries on the
Oh.
doors. Yeah.
Well, maybe Kim. And maybe she was just bringing this up.
I think she was bringing it up.
This has been over about a 2-week period now.
Okay.
Yes.
Stirring the pot.
Are the applicants for the tourism and the different committees in there? I don't see them
Yes,
online.
I also emailed them to you guys on Friday.
Okay. I'll dig a little deeper.
For tourism, 2 of them are reappointments for Sean Cardwell and Lynn Lynch. And then the new applicant is Kate Schmuck, I believe, so the PUD.
And the,
And then you also have, Noxious Weed Control Board Director for Section 1 is Wesley Sieg, I think I said that right. And then for Section 3 is Ron Tebow.
and that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
And you put those openings online?
For the reappointments, no,
They're just automatic?
the,
I thought we were putting those online from starting like 3 years ago.
we've been doing them when there's vacancies, but then typically if somebody seeks reappointment, the committee recommends reappointment and it comes to you guys. And that's just how it's been with all of them.
Yeah, I thought we
Like the
changed
ones we
that
can't-
when Jerry was here. To open it each time.
Is that something you'd like to discuss?
I thought it was already done. That's why I'm bringing it up now. That's why I was just surprised at the reappoint. Like if it wasn't opened up.
Yeah, we did have a discussion of that. And I think that was the direction just because some people are.
And then we were operating that way too. So
Rolling, I mean, they were just
switched.
previously, they were rolling in the same board, so there was no opportunity to have a.
New member that might be
Yeah.
more qualified or better fitting.
The ones that we don't sit on, I think that's probably where my confusion came from, because the ones that we don't control, we don't ever see,
Yeah, like the weed board, we wouldn't have any.
which they did advertise, and all of that's included in your
Okay.
guys' packet.
So
They
they
did
took care
all
of
of
that.
their
Uh-huh.
due diligence, but some of them, like the planning commission, I just don't know that somebody has resigned or anything like that until they email me to tell me, and then quite often I'll get the email that they've resigned, but that they already have somebody that's seeking appointment or reappointment or whatever for whatever position.
So that's the point then, that the board would like to put that on hold and then advertise, is that correct?
Well, the way it was being done when that decision was made was that, I don't know, Jerry would just know terms were coming and then he would advertise them. The applicant could then apply. And then if no one else applied, you could appoint them, or if you had 2 or 3 choices, then you got to choose from them. Because they're representing us, right? And often I'm represented by people that do not represent me or my circles or even our county realistically on some of them. And some of them just fill spots because they're told to by employers or whatever. But I don't know. I guess it just surprised me.
So I would think, since this is already in the process, but I think just starting in 2026, just kind of go back to that. And so looking at the open positions, we could advertise. And it will more than likely be the same individuals, but at least it opens it up for others if they're interested, so they can apply.
I'd put a blurb on the website too that explains that.
And then for those seeking reappointment, are you guys wanting an application from them every year?
Or some of them annually. I think they could, I think we all have to, if we're gonna reapply for something. Yes, I would say it doesn't have to be in depth, but our forms are pretty easy.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Just
take
kind
that
of
long.
lets us know if they're, interested in doing it.
I have an 11:15 I have to get to on Teams. Did you want to get together over lunch?
Yeah,
something?
sure.
Okay.
I got time.
Okay.
We're gonna go into lunch right now, I think,
Yeah,
unless we have more to discuss.
yeah, I've got,
We need to advertise, let them know that. The PMR is canceled, and we do have a budget meeting from 1 to 2.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, yeah. Yeah, my Teams is with Susie and Merchant McIntyre. It goes from 11:15, I think, to 11:45. So.
Okay, I'll probably be right here.
Okay.
All right, anything else, Barbara?
Not that I have.
Caitlin?
Thank you, Barb.
Kevin?
No.
All right, we will go into recess until 1 p.m. when we're back for our budget meeting. Good afternoon, it is 1 p.m. and we are here for a 2026 budget review meeting.
I'm just on her way down there.
Okay.
I get really good. Where's Daryl?
What was last week's request? Is updated revenue numbers?
But then I can't text on my phone.
Welcome, Daryl.
Good weekend.
I saw one of you guys.
Good week.
Put a paper on
Wasn't
the
bad.
sketch board, and I thought, it's just a little rich. There you go. And they're big, there's a bunch of screen.
Okay.
It's not what I was getting. I haven't done anything with it for a while.
Happy Monday.
I feel like you say that every time you see her. I don't know. Did you do this about 8 weeks ago, but.
Look at me finally paying attention.
That's okay, Sue. I know, it's just.
I noticed those things typically sooner than he was. You see that? Yes.
Joey, I have a question really quick.
Okay.
Your 24/7 medical care in the jail, is that
Yes.
in the budget or that's like,
We put it in there, I believe we put it in under, I know it's not going to be a capital, it'll be its own project hopefully. But we did put it under the capital items, I believe, so you could actually see it specifically. Is that correct, Gary?
Correct.
We wanted to make sure that that stuck out specifically, so you did see that.
okay, I'm just asking if it's included in the overall number, if it still needs to be added in?
It should be included because it was in our capital stuff, so, yeah.
You had it in capital outlay?
I believe so,
So it
Rob.
shouldn't have been in your budget then. It
Oh, is
was an additional.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm not sure how those were included in there. I'm
Okay.
sorry. For the dollar amount you're talking about, right, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my terms were different. Included means that we put it in there, but I didn't realize you meant for that dollar amount. I'm sorry.
Very quickly, hey Joey, did you see the story about Cook County Jail?
I'm sorry?
So the 6 inmates at Cook County Jail,
I did not.
Friday night, they had 6 Cook County Jail inmates overdose on fentanyl.
Oh my
Did
goodness.
they all
Yes.
pass away? 6 inmates, Friday night, deputies at the jail responded when 2 inmates began having medical emergencies inside a cell. Staff quickly identified the systems of fentanyl overdoses and administered Narcan, reviving both individuals. Then, as deputies moved the remaining inmates from the affected section, additional inmates began showing signs of the overdose. Total of 6 inmates experienced overdose. All 6 inmates were transferred.
Were they smuggling it in?
Scary.
or something? Somebody smuggled
One
it
of the
in.
inmates was,
It's not good.
Silly.
yeah, crazy.
You gotta get it from somewhere.
Will you forward that to me,
In there.
please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, knock on
Never
wood, it wasn't
go
Grant
over.
County.
No doubt.
I shall knock on wood there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Good, I knocked on. This is like wood. Slacker. Now, what was it that you had in your budget? What were they asking you about?
Michelle, it's that medical, they're proposing a 24/7 medical care, and they put it in a capital. I don't know if that was actually added in.
It probably wasn't, as Rob says, if our capital is not typically added to the amount, oh gosh, sorry. If the capital is not typically added to the amount, I'm guessing it probably was not included in the amount. I'm guessing.
Wouldn't it have been discussed?
It's in the capital.
But if it's in the capital, we tried to put the.
We've discussed it multiple times, Daryl. We just weren't quite, there was not a project for it yet. But we wanted to include it for the board to see the proposal. We just didn't know where to include it at. So we put it in the capital side because it is going to have some separate discussion, I think. But we try to, every update I have, it's discussed, I mean, so it's.
Is it jail or sheriff?
Should be,
CHP?
yeah, jail side for the capital.
So is that contract for the medical staff or actual employees?
Yes and yes.
It's on. I don't see CHP. Do you? Interest. Is that the jail? No, that's
That's
sheriff.
the sheriff.
Yeah,
He
but
said jail.
I don't have one for jail.
I don't see a jail capital.
Huh. So it's not on there either.
That's a 114, so it's not gonna be on there, is it?
It should be on this one.
It's just, nope.
No, it's not now.
It's probably on the one that you built. I didn't get it where.
I sent it to. Jail expenses.
There's a comment next to a couple of them that says a substantial reduction could be made if CHP is approved. So is that where CHP is living?
It looks like there's a tab missing for jail capital. Unless it got moved
Yeah,
someplace else.
It's not in our list here on the current spreadsheet you sent out. It's, the jail capital is not there anymore.
I think so. Yeah, there's no, this is the sheriff's capital outlay. It's
Yeah.
not jail.
Sheriff capital there, but the jail's not.
So I go through here.
Yeah.
But that's the whole budget, right?
No, this is just this is just a sheriff's budget. Let me go to my, find out where it is, Tom, and I'll send it to you.
I need to answer that question. I need to answer that question.
Damn it.
It's not on
Because it should be the one.
There haven't been any changes to it though. I mean, I should have it.
Well, I thought the changes were happening,
Okay.
when somebody changes it. I
Forward
thought
forward
we
it to
all-
me, Leah. So Gary's gonna run over and forward the worksheet that he had, put it on. And then I'll send it forward from there. But I think Gary forwarded it to you, Mandy. I don't know when the date was that he sent it, but
Probably.
11/4/25.
sure I have it online, but Gary has another one.
So was there an actual meeting this morning or was it an impromptu meeting?
This morning, what?
I don't think we had a budget meeting this morning.
There are no budget meetings this morning.
Okay.
It's right now.
It's just salaries. Yeah. Let's check the mail.
You need it here. It's probably better. Oh, shiny, is it working?
No, I'm being stubborn.
Yeah, it's
So are we any closer to figuring out what we have I'm just asking, in our carryover or reserve?
Well, I have my numbers for revenues, but I did not receive the expense number for December. And we still have just under $1.2 million of unresolved monies still for balancing previous payables.
I don't know what amount you're talking about, Gerald. Well, we went through the ones that we had and we sent them all to Connie.
Connie sent you a list,
Mhm.
and you responded to some of the items on the list. not the others.
I responded to everything on the list.
Because you were sending checks first. What we want is transfers. And
I
not-
gave you a separate list of the transfers and those are not, we don't have, the only things outstanding are nominal. Hold on. What? I don't see one for jail here either. 6, this is what he sent me.
It's not on that, you already looked at that capital.
Well,
One,
maybe
didn't
not.
you? Maybe it's down. Just copy it.
I've seen references to it, but that's why I was asking, but I don't recall seeing the actual medical.
They have that.
Tom, I can move my.
Oh, no, you're good.
This is the email he sent me, Gary sent me.
Yeah, I just want a lot of space. Character film, like.
He just has it on a separate email. He's gonna find it. But I just showed it wasn't in his budget.
Oh. So now where's the one for?
So Daryl, do you have a guess of
Transfers?
I still need the expense number.
Okay.
I sent an email requesting it.
And I'm just gonna throw this out there, there may be some funds that, maybe a reduction of funds, I don't wanna say this, internal transfer to TS, you're ending the year. We won't do the full transfer.
Yeah, we might not do the full transfer, so. But I guess we can't conclude this meeting without everybody understanding what we need.
We just got an email, book one.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, Tom.
It's overwhelmed.
The one I just sent, Cindy, that's the one, our 115 summary. That's also not that tab was not in the current one that we have, we're working on now. That's where that CHP amount was at. Rob, sorry you don't have your computer. I can let you look at mine.
Still trying to load it.
Yeah, it's just too much
I'm in
stuff.
there, Joe.
Are you?
Yeah.
Did you see your email?
The one you just
So
said.
so we need to add basically $3 million for the 24-hour coverage.
What?
Is that, I think that's what basically, at the end, minus maybe a couple 100,000 here or there for employees that will be
Yeah,
under that new plan.
yeah, there'll be two absorbed, most likely, which won't be an expense for us anymore. It'll be within CHP.
So I do see the summary tab with that, but is that built into your operational budget and in the expectation if it gets approved as a capital, it'll be moved out?
No, we didn't have, see, I hope I can answer your question right, sorry. We didn't build it into the actual expense because we didn't have a line item or a project for that, because it's new. We figured we put under the summary because it needed to be somewhere we could talk about for the approval, and then once it's approved, we would build it in as a project within the expense, if I'm saying that correctly.
Oh, okay, I guess I'm just not sure, then why would there be a reduction with that approval to these other line items?
Because that's why I said there would be a possible reduction if the approval, because that amount that is shown in there could be basically reflected as money that would be spent on the 2.9 million for the contracted medical, which we wouldn't have it it wouldn't be coming out of, as an example, the personnel. We would have two people coming out and saving money out of the wages and benefits, but that money would be rolling into the project for the CHP for the amount, because we wouldn't have to pay for personnel, because CHP would absorb the personnel, part of the contract, part of the
So how many
amount.
employees would that be?
Well, right off the top of our head, it would be 2 nurses. It would also be the contract that we have with Dr. Fife, medical
Do
contract.
you know about how much that is? I'm just trying to look at the difference.
Sure.
So if we did like 2.5 million would be the actual cost, or 2.6 million?
I would have to find, Gary might know because he
Okay.
talked to Phil about it specifically. Do you know what the exact cost or a very close estimate cost to what it was for Dr. Fife, as well as his medical insurance alone, I believe, is about 65,000.
Okay.
His contract amount, I'm not sure. Do you remember?
Don't know his contract
Through
amount
Omni
either.
Services? Because that would also be himself as well as a medical assistant and I want to say a PA as
Okay.
well. So I'm not sure specifically what that, let me see if I have access to that contract real quick.
Did you see this?
But I guess my question was, it's not in the budget right now, so that's where it's gonna be an additional 2.5 to 2.6 million
Yeah.
additional that we need to add in if we go. So Daryl, when do you think you can have the numbers? Because we really
Well,
can't.
I'm ready if they'll tell me what the expenses are.
Okay.
May I?
Yeah.
Those two positions are bargained positions.
Okay.
So there's gonna be an added cost for labor,
Okay,
labor attorney, I meant.
okay, thank you.
So we have
Yes,
to bargain
yes, I
that.
knew what you were. I just kind of, Gina, I just was asking Sheriff, because I just haven't seen this where this settled in the budget, and so I wanted to know if it was actually in it.
Sure.
And it sounds like it's not.
Thank you for asking.
It will be another,
I just sent another email. I sent it to you and Mandy as well where Gary was building in that spreadsheet in there. So it might be redundant. You might see the summary twice, but just so you know, that's the current one Gary's been working on that was sent
Okay.
over. So,
just got another one. Okay, thank you.
yeah. Mandy, did I explain that? Okay, does that make sense? The reason why I showed some of the savings in one area of the budget would be rolling over to the debt to apply to the cost of the CHP.
Oh, okay, yeah, just some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just some of them. Okay.
So I'm just gonna jump in. Mandy, do you know what information Daryl is looking for so that,
He wants December's expenditures?
okay.
Is that what
Those
you're
are
asking
like-
for?
Eight
8 days
Is that
in?
the 20
I
days?
mean,
Okay, that takes roughly
You
20
would
days.
take what's an average, because we've had so many up and down months, I don't know what the average is. That's what we got last year was an average that I was given.
I thought that, I'm sorry to jump in. Last week when we did this, I thought you needed up-to-date revenues and you were gonna forecast expenses.
No, I do the revenues, they do the expenses. I don't know what's up there, I don't know what's normal and what's at all, that's why I'm the revenue side and they're the expense side.
I'm just
So Gerald, when will you have kind of a revenue?
I'm done with the revenues.
Okay, so we have the correct revenue?
Uh,
Well, I mean, your
I have
estimated,
an estimate.
did you email it to us or you gave it to us earlier?
No.
Okay. When will we be able to see that?
Well, I was ready to report it.
Oh, okay, you're here. Can we,
today.
let's go. Can we
I was
have,
asked to bring it today to this meeting.
perfect, Gerald. We would love to hear it.
Well, we believe the ending November balance will be $26.4 million.
Okay.
December revenues, last year was almost 4 million. We have actually negative taxes so far this month due to more refunds, major refunds. So I'm projecting only 3.3 million for this month. That puts it as 29.7. Last year expenditures was just under 6.1 million. I can't tell based on all these months of ups and downs what this month would be.
So I think I know what you're saying, is that we're gonna end the year in 29.7 million, but it
No,
looks.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying minus the expenses for this month.
Okay, but in just the revenue. So the revenue portion will be 29.7 million. You anticipate we're probably gonna have about 6.1 million, anticipating, because we don't have the full numbers, 6.1 million. So I take the 29.7
No,
million.
I reported what last year's expense was.
Okay.
I have no idea for this year
Okay.
because last month was 8 million.
Daryl, you really should be an attorney because you really can't nail anything down. So I just, maybe it's 8 million, but if we do the 29.7 million, it subtracts 6.1 million, but really it could be 8 million. Looks like we could be ending the year at 25.6, but we don't really know because we're guessing on the.
Well, right now, since I believe before we anticipated that we won't have to do a budget extension for current expense. So what is the unspent amount going into December?
You haven't given me November's reports,
Right,
Daryl.
but you have the vouchers for current expense.
With none of the revenues, none of the treasurer's done, none of the transfers done by the treasurer's
I'm not
office.
asking about, okay, so for your payables, you don't know the current expense portion of your payables, right?
Yes.
She's pulling it right here out
We
of
have
Tyler.
everything up to date on both sides of the house through October 31.
Yes.
For October, not through
November.
December.
Not through November.
I'm just wondering if we
Yeah,
can.
Not through
unfortunately,
November
Connie got
either.
sick and was not in for us to finish it on Friday. We were focused
We can
on
only
getting
do, we have.
current expense no matter what.
Can we do averages and forecast it out for the last 3 months of the year and adopt a budget based on numbers through the end of October?
You probably go your worst case scenario is whatever the payables for November were that was for current expense, then what was the outstanding balance for the budget and subtract that number as a worst case scenario.
What's the best case scenario for adopting a budget in the next week and a half?
As soon as she gets this report, we'll have a better, I mean, everything that we've already expensed up to date will be on this.
Just a side note, did you know, I shouldn't throw names, but there's a restaurant that has a big M on them. And they do adult Happy Meals. This would be a good time for everybody to get it. And they have socks.
Adult Happy Meals.
Yes, and they have like Christmas socks on it. Cheer everybody up.
Yeah. And then maybe had some Grinch ones from McDonald's on, which got in Happy Meal.
I did see a Cindy Lou Who cake. I'm like, I really need that Cindy Lou Who cake, Christmas cake. I'll ask Amanda so I'm not interrupting the workflow. Do you know what we were at about 7.7 million, I think, in our budget, the last numbers that we were using, taking out of current expense?
Seven.
Okay.
We don't have, she doesn't
I
have
get
a
in trouble
computer
for asking
either.
Mandy when she's on a mission, so I'll try
Wrong
not.
line.
It was 7 something.
Yeah.
7 something, yeah.
What is
I should've
our
brought my
expense?
computer.
What is our total budget that we passed last year?
Well, let me go online, if you Google it.
Oh, there it is,
Oh.
there. Hold on. For current expense, 70.3 million. No, I'm not, sorry, for current expense, 70.3.
And what was the October expenditures? So what were we up to?
Gerald, just a minute. Don't be me. Don't ask questions.
Because I can't
No,
ask
no,
for
I-
50
I'm
reports
not
that
talking
we're
about
trying to
the
generate
total,
one
The
still.
expenditures for the year up to the end of October, if we have that.
Why, because we go 72, I'm going 72 divided by 12.
I just ran this.
Well, that
For a
would be
different
pretty much a
reason.
6 unless we were 6,
Right.
72.
And that's the thing is,
6 million, so we could
Oh,
do
this isn't my computer.
6 million,
I need to get
so
it.
25 million. So we could literally be at 25 million. What's a number carryover you said we should be at?
you have
25, sorry,
29.7 minus, if you say it's
Minus
6,
6.1
then
million,
that's
so we're
23.
25.6.
Caps on, I think.
So we're
So if our
25.6.
expenses are more, it'd get closer to 23 million, which was my rough guess.
Okay, I was like, how are you getting 25 off 6 minus 29? I was confused.
I had 26.4.
Wait, I added wrong.
If
Okay.
a train leaves Chicago.
Wait, I added wrong. 23.
Darts.
23. It's my adding and my, okay, 23.6. Daryl, what number were you comfortable? Was it 18 or 19 for a carryover? I'm asking you because need some veterans
Well, this
assistance.
depends on what your goal down the road is for target, any balance. You know,
If we have to
it's-
carry over 5 million this year, it'll be 6.5 million next year. If we carry over 7
Right,
million this year, it'll be
that's-
9 million next
That's
year.
right, I don't know how we can,
I thought last week we arbitrarily decided 20 million.
20 million for not the end of next, or for the end of next
Carryover.
year.
for the carry.
Okay, that means only 3 million,
3.6
3
million.
million out of reserves. Unless we have new revenues. Will the medical costs increase revenues?
So we do
Yes.
3.6 million out of
To a
reserve.
certain, yes, to a
Okay,
certain degree.
which again, this again shows, this will make even a bigger discrepancy on our agreement with the cities. That they'll be getting, will the cities be paying a portion of that?
Well, no, we can
As,
also.
not as of right now, we still have the 1/10.
Right.
So,
And that's the whole thing, the 1/10 hasn't paid for services for over 2 decades. And that's why you gotta get rid of that agreement.
it ain't us.
I know,
Get rid of it.
that's why you gotta get rid of that agreement, because the cities won't be paying any of that now.
It's like, because our invoice history doesn't show.
Why is that?
Because they're not paying for services.
So just a little historical information, Kevin, back in, I think, Daryl, was that 1994? About 1994, the cities agreed to a 1/10% surrendering, I guess I would say, of revenue to the county to alleviate any medical costs or any booking fees for inmates outside of felonies. So we've far exceeded that in expenses over the years. And this has been, we've been talking about this probably 4 or 5 years roughly of the possibility of getting away from that and going back to how we used to do things before 1994 of booking fees and bed rates and things like that. So that's what Daryl's talking about. I paraphrased. Daryl's probably got a lot more details than I do, but.
So how do we make that happen?
You
1994.
give notice that we're no longer, that we want to cancel this agreement. Find the agreement first, and then say we'll be charging you misdemeanor costs after the agreement, and we'll notify the state to let you keep your share of the tax instead of being diverted to us.
So who would have a copy of that?
Commissioners?
I don't have a copy of it.
How long ago was that agreement done? How long was that struck?
Probably
Like a
30
million
years
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
It's time to fix that.
And we've been subsidizing the cities for quite some time.
Did you get it?
We're gonna mess
Kinda.
up every year. Get out of this agreement.
It's probably on the state archives website, because we had all that done back then, so I can start searching the state archives
We
website.
pick like 10 different people to search and
So it's
just
just
do
October?
2-year periods each.
Luckily, we could just, what's the word you would like me to search?
Look, actually, it might be
Okay,
faster
because that is the one I did just run.
for me to contact the state and ask when we put off tax.
Yeah,
because we would have done the agreement before the tax went off. So then you can narrow down the time period.
Daryl, that'd be great if you could get me that data.
So, I don't wanna get my hopes up, but did I hear that if we're carrying over a reserve balance of 20 million, we only had to take 3 plus or minus million out of reserves to balance?
Right, but now we have.
We don't have
another-
COLAs out yet in there.
And that's the question where I was posing, what is the expense comparison from
We don't have
25?
COLAs out of it, that's the big thing. What was in that 105 account? I'm gonna try to look in on my little itty bitty numbers. That's that. Employee.
Oopsies.
Employee stipend.
Training fund?
Yeah, what was that? Was it 1.8, 2.2?
What was the question?
No, the amount of money in that fund?
I think it was the 105 account for that employee.
After all our connections payments,
Uh,
1.7,
Something like that, yeah.
close to 2, but not quite.
Kind of a sacred account, but in order to do COLAs, we may have to grab those funds and help use it to balance the budget, because we don't even have COLAs added into our budget.
So, are we reasonably certain that we could even document the numbers that get us to the 3 plus or minus million that we're even talking about? So I'm still trying to figure out how we get from A to B.
We're trying to creatively think that too.
I hate to keep bouncing around, sorry. But going back to your question about the expenses with Dr. Five, medical and all that, I have an answer for that.
Okay,
So the expense that we're currently paying as of, this is at the end of September, has been $458,695. And that has been professional services as well as the $75,000 or 70,000, excuse me, and 33,000 to Dr. Fife's medical insurance and medications. Those would be absorbed by CHP. That
And then
amount.
you have your staff, you have 2 nurses.
Two
so
nurses, yep,
300,000.
yep. And then you also have, looking at the budget,
so
you've
that's
got
1 million.
medical clinic, medical supplies, another 10,000. That would be all coming through CHP.
What is this doctor's wage? What is just that individual person's wage for the year?
It's contracted.
Right, but
So-
contract for what amount?
Well, it's a, let me get to it again. Hopefully it's still up here, but probably not, because I got rid of
Because I'm
it.
trying to figure out how this get to over almost $3 million.
Well, the company we're going with, Daryl, their cost is $3 million, not what we're currently paying. We haven't got approved to get that a contracted medical. What they do, what we don't see, is they assume all the liability too for any cases that come through there. But they provide 24/7 medical care. They provide all that. They pay the ambulance rides. They pay the pharmaceuticals. They pay anything that has to do with medical in the
So
jail.
does that mean we don't get sued if someone dies?
Well, I think it means that our risk is mitigated quite substantially. I don't think we can never say never, but I think our risk is quite substantial.
Would this have an insurance reduction opportunity?
We have oh yeah, I would sure think so.
But it would, if we had this, would we get our insurance carrier to probably reduce our amount?
I would think so with mitigating some risk. I would sure think, but I'm not an insurance adjuster. I'm not that guy, so. That would be probably a Blair question.
What are the county contracts with them? This entity, if any?
With the doctor or the new
With this
company?
This company, that's the 3 million contract.
We have no contracts with them right now.
Right, but do they have any other county contracts?
Yes, they have, they just opened up in Skagit County. Up north, or is it Whatcom?
Oh, CHP?
Yeah.
I don't have my phone with me.
they're in Lewis County,
That's the last one I remember was Lewis.
and they're,
Oh, Skagit. I think it's Skagit.
and they're
Yeah,
also, they
I
just
believe.
opened up in Skagit County as well, doing the 24-hour medical care in both of those facilities.
There should be an insurance reduction benefit.
Should be.
That's,
But we haven't
We don't have it- we don't have
The
it in
question
place,
is,
so.
it's sort of like a presentation made to our insurance carrier and say, can you now reduce our insurance a little bit because of this mitigated risk? And see what kind of cost savings we get from that.
Well, we're working on it, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'm self-insured.
Oh. Sorry, Joe.
It's all right.
Ignore that.
I will. I was just getting ready to say, I'm not sure I know what you're talking about, Tom. Yeah.
Okay, to answer my question, then,
That's
then
fine.
on the cover tab, under the reports for expenses, that you can see the total expenses. Well, actually, I looked at it up for October, and there wasn't a total. It would just have the individual departments, but it didn't have a total for expenses in the October. And I wasn't about to count each tab or each fund.
Bless you.
The total for current expense? What total, Gerald, were you looking for?
Well, did you gather a number for November? And then you'd have the full year amount of what's left. And are we gonna be, because we thought we were gonna be under budget, or are we gonna do budget extensions that need to go out very quickly here?
Does this affect the year-end budget extension?
Yes.
I need to get that to the paper tomorrow.
Yes, I know.
So what was November?
We haven't,
I thought you were about to get the answer.
She's working
you
on
said
it.
you wanted December. Do you want, okay.
Ah.
What do you want, Daryl?
Well, first thing is the end of the budget expended for the end of October.
That was given, that was done, so,
And what is the difference?
all right, hold on.
What is the remaining amount for the year?
At the end of October, there was remaining $16.2 million in the budget.
And so then the November expenses were.
Is this just December? Is that November, December?
Well, it's just Tyler.
It's just
'Cause we
we're
have
all
G-
together from 10.
Well, we also have payroll and I have both.
Yeah.
December.
Say you target 20 million. Then you need to target 17 million for the end of 27. Now you're getting close to the amount you don't want to go over, because first thing is the budget's still going up and it's a percentage budget. So you may be where your final straw may be 15. But then again, some of these increases are ongoing. We're pulling money out. That's the few things. So you only have 3 million to balance 27 budget. What are you gonna do? Let it go.
I think we have a lot of things to think about for 27.
If we can get a path on looking at what to do with our insurance, we will have, this kind of hit us pretty hard. We had no idea it was gonna increase 13%. We thought it was like 3 or 4, and then they tacked on another 10%. So we were not ready for that one.
Now, would it be fair, you'd mentioned $106 without the medical of your jail for outside entities you contract with. If we got rid of this agreement, would that be the same amount for the cities?
Would it be the same amount for the cities?
Approximately?
It would be different because we're obligated by statute to house felons. So it wouldn't be that amount because the number of people would be reduced for misdemeanor cases.
So.
And we didn't know the balance, our current expense.
Then it just, didn't know if you had an analysis of just how many are city people that meet that criteria, not a felon situation. And how much revenue that is.
It's a great question. Yeah, we could, I hate to say.
October?
Right. I would hate to say that we can right now, but we've been using a new software over there, testing it for a year, and it's been a nightmare getting reports out of it. So I'd love to be able to tell you, yep, we can do that, but without jumping in and finding the reports.
Trade-off is just looking at, what's that count for this year? How much
We
would
probably
that
can't take out
produce
that to
just
balance our
for
budget, so.
the
Additional revenue.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna, just the two agencies that are interested and have letters of interest to us, we increased our revenue substantially just on those two, but I want to also keep it reasonable, not knowing, because it's literally a projection right now, because we've never done two contracted agencies before. DOC, we're pretty good with, because we currently do it, so that one's easy. But we have to finalize our contract, which we're working on right now with legal, with those other two agencies that want to contract with us for that fee schedule.
You
So
also mentioned 165, which would also reduce their exposures to that risk as well for their.
Right.
I didn't hear what you said.
In a different way.
Panic and sitting break.
So their insurance would recognize that. So then and that, does that still, is medical on felonies, has that been addressed on not passing that cost, or is just the housing?
as far as I'll tell you the truth, Daryl, I don't know. I think, as far as I know, I think it's everything on felonies that we're required statutorily to house and take care of. The misdemeanors, I think, is where we can recoup costs. Yeah, I don't think we can on felonies.
Okay, so it's everything on felonies, for cost.
Is there a way we can find out how much money is the county currently receiving, like maybe in the last 2 or 3 years off that tax? So we would be able to,
Yeah, I can give you that real quick.
so that way we would be able to compare what we could possibly make with what the county's already bringing in.
I don't have it up in front of me anymore. I don't even know where to find it.
That might be helpful for the board when it comes to making decisions.
And they've already put that budget's already been.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say right now, and it may have nothing to do with anything, is that our population right now is more felons than we have misdemeanors. Just because of sheer restrictions that we've had with the jail, so, not that we don't have some misdemeanor offenders in there.
The judges have kept in the back of their head.
Yeah.
And we can do
Who
some.
stays and who goes.
Yeah, but those days will change hopefully in May eventually. But nonetheless, we do have more felons in there right now. We have misdemeanors, so.
Well, I mean, that's raw, no cleanup, no nothing, but.
Okay, just to include everybody in the group, I just was having a little side conversation, which was probably totally inappropriate without the rest of the room. We have the 105 account, if we have 1.8-ish million. I don't know what the COLA transfers for current expense were last year. You know what that cost, because we don't know what it's this year, but at least it would give us a ballpark. I have no idea what the COLA is for this year. If we use that 105 account to help pay for the COLAs, because it's not even in the budget. Maybe TS has a $2 million transfer that they could be reduced, however they end their year. They have some reserve left in this year, it would reduce the transfer for next year. Taking $1 million out of the new jail fund to help balance the sheriff's budget. Was that revenue already put in for this year? For 2020? I'm sorry,
That was a $2 million.
Just trying to get this report.
I know,
It's in my number, in November number.
Yeah, but we could budget it in for next year if it hasn't already been transferred in. 1 million for the new jail, using 1 million to help pay for
Corrections.
corrections.
I did the $2 million transfer
For 2025.
for 2025.
Did they put a $1 million for next year? Sheriff, do you know?
I'm sorry, my
We
computer
have
totally freaked out on me.
in the preliminary estimate, we have that included, so we would need to remove it.
2 million or 1 million?
Change it to what?
Right, that's 2.
You're already showing 2 million being transferred for next year.
I thought it was 3
Or
million.
3 million, yeah.
Because I thought it was 3, so I think
My point was
they're already counting the 1 million.
So if I get rid of that,
I don't remember me saying 26 either. Should be under the summary, right?
No, go to jail.
Well, then, do you have any other ideas? Maybe,
No, I mean, at this point, you're freezing hiring and probably not giving a COLA unless a lot of changes
Could have been
happen.
at the bottom.
it's in
I
this
mean,
one.
it is what it is. I wouldn't keep
No, it
just
wasn't in there.
cutting. But
well,
what I was
I
saying
don't
was
think we
the
can not have a
deficit's
COLA.
about to go up.
Yeah.
And she's gonna
Daryl?
pull 3 million.
That was in 20.
As of right
No,
now,
it's 3.
Oh, just my computer just died.
maybe a standard deviation of 2%. We are at a remaining $11 million for
Nothing for
December.
26.
And that is 2 times our expected monthly expenditures, which I don't foresee us hitting.
So,
I'm not sure I understood that comment. So,
So on raw numbers, maybe there's some error there to, give or take 2% for error. We have spent to date of our available $70 million, 58.6 million.
up to today?
Up
or
to today,
November?
up to today,
okay, so out of our $72 million budget,
$70 million budget, yes,
70.
yes.
Okay. All right, let's just.
Which leaves approximately $11 million for December's remaining expenditures.
Do we have 3 payrolls this month?
No,
Or 2?
2.
Okay.
So then the carryover that would be left over would be added to that 23.6 million,
It would stay in the fund balance.
which would be,
Unless you allocate it to spend, it would just,
so if we, since we've already taken the 6.1 million out for December, there's no way we're gonna end, you think we would end it with 33 million? Is that how it would be?
We're at 24 right now, Daryl?
26.4 going into November.
Plus, we should have an estimated 3.3 million in December, minus a $6.1 million December
My revenue is 3.1, so this puts,
expenses.
so this puts
So-
it, say,
I had an adding error, but now I think I'm correct. So we're at 23.6. And then you're saying we could possibly have 7 million out of our.
I think the bond payments are what's gonna cause the greatest work. We still haven't made those yet, Daryl.
but then I have a current expense.
None of them? We don't fund any part of it. It's all one through three? Okay, well then that would be the largest thing that I would expect.
Best thing to happen to me, but I have a feeling I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning and it'll be like, wait. So currently, we're ending the year over 30 million, possibly.
How would we be so under budget?
So for the bond payments though, right? So we were at an $866,000 deficit for 2026. We're gonna take that out of the 117, right? Okay, so that's why it's not coming out of current expenses.
Yeah, all your debt payments are coming out of all the sources.
Yeah, so
That was the whole point of this not touching current expense. So we're gonna be under budget $5 million. What did we budget for that was gonna put it
That's
that
what I'm
high?
just gonna say, what was?
Social
what's our
media,
last
I'm just
budget
getting really
and our
excited.
last thing?
Right.
So am I following this right?
No, that feeds into the medical. This medical estimate is for a calendar year.
So that's kind
And
of what you
it'd be starting in May,
estimated.
and be a calendar year from May.
Because we've already
with the
taken
jail.
6.1 out.
Well, it could, but then we're
So it
missing
would be
6 months of,
maybe-
it's not like we don't have care over here that's needed. I mean, we've had some pretty significant problems over
I
here. at the
doubt
jail.
it.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
do-
like.
I doubt
That
it.
require medical attention that weren't there.
Now we're over.
But we'll be closer to 30. We could be closer, we could be around 28 to 30,000 would be, even if we did 8 million in expenses.
My guess is we over budgeted sheriff and jail employees for the year. I would bet a majority.
Oh, last year?
Which means that we put a more full year hiring and they came in half year. Now next year will be a full year, which means their budget increases more because
We did have a higher salary estimate in our expense in 2025 because we did include that 12% for the administrative staff that we didn't do. So there was that increase that we didn't do, so it was, that part was high, yeah,
I don't have one that has a
that I do
percentage.
remember.
Okay, so until we get some numbers firmed up, because this will make a big difference, so I think we will just be running around in circles guessing on what it could be.
looks like around 22 million.
23 million.
I'm trying to see.
But what about the 11 million?
Right,
There's a sheet that says a percent. That's
Okay, because that's sort of already, I get it, it's already added in.
I thought we give them the percent of each one that's closer to expenses.
Then you determine if you only want to go to 20, then
We
it's
have,
only $3
when we
million
have the
to
commissioners meeting, we have
cover
one
3.6.
sheet that has expenses in it, we have the monthly expense percent.
Then is there any other revenue sources
And
that
then
are
we, see.
Yeah,
Oh, the over and over, the over and under, you mean?
Kind of, well,
Historical.
That's not in the budget.
So.
That's
oh,
all
no,
actuals.
no, I was like for the month end, for the commissioners meeting last
Oh,
time.
yeah.
That's what I'm
I
looking
didn't
for.
find that. It's right here, though.
Well, it's just cruise down there.
So
to see
how are we
who's-
getting to 23 now?
Well, right now, okay, so.
We're at 26.4.
29.6
Yeah.
plus three.
Because that shows us
3.3 million.
who's.
I'm doing 6.9 million for this month.
Okay.
23. Now, if it's six, if it's less than 6.9 million, then 6.9 million, that's expensive.
It's so long, I'm not even watching, I'm just watching the dots go around. They look like dots. They're little-
I'm just messing with you.
This is
I don't even
actual.
remember what it is.
Did you guys get
Current
numbers from
total
Total
finance.
Projected.
No.
Yes.
Maybe I should have brought the computer in. I didn't want to carry it.
Okay.
My back hurt, my knees hurt. I was like, I'm not gonna carry it in.
But yeah, you know, 6.9 based on this budget was way more than the average on the month. You know, we had a $70 million budget by 12.
What are you looking for?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm
And then we don't, and this is
Under
our
so
three
far.
more month. So that's,
We've used
that's
74%.
So should we have at least
good.
23
So you
million?
could easily be under 6.
Oh, what's
I do have some
So you may be at 24.
questions for HR on the budget, but I don't think I can ask them in this meeting, so I will ask tomorrow. But the,
The sheriff's, like,
So the 11
Jail
million
is 500
remaining,
million.
she
Yeah,
said
they've only
was
used
today.
68%, so it's
Yeah.
the jail is a big chunk of
but I
it.
think we're already counting that.
But this is right, I would,
Today,
you know, this is
because
telling us
the
that
budget
who
is
is, yeah,
this isn't gonna go up in
means
November.
Not that far.
No, so
No.
it's this, yeah.
yeah,
I told you.
yeah.
But I guess you wouldn't
I mean,
add
it's
it in because
easy, and
everything's already there.
but that confirms that,
Yeah.
that they can see that those are the
What's
places.
the expenses,
And overall, I mean, most of us are not, that's,
but it all comes down to.
that's 30%, it's probably not a very big amount anyway.
Okay. We can wind down about 2 more minutes if we need anything else. Robbie, you have a meeting here shortly.
Oh, do I?
Apparently.
Where's this
Oh.
meeting?
It's on Teams.
On Tuesday.
You got the invite.
Apparently
Yeah,
Daryl
okay.
has it. So I think we got a
Think so.
little massaging to do where we can, so Mandy, on that 105 account, 1.8 million, you don't have to look it now.
Shouldn't
We
be.
didn't
sorry,
go
what?
crazy on
The 105 account has about 1.8 million in it.
Um,
Well, again, this is like an
How's it
HR
get
email
down?
with this one too.
Because the leftover 6 from the 11 doesn't.
Surviving later. Is what the cash balance was.
The budgets, this is why you ask them what they think they're gonna spend for 25.
Yeah.
Then you would have an indication of this huge non-expenditures of monies for this year that would be to prove our carryover.
We have another meeting scheduled for next Monday at 2 p.m. for more budget
Okay.
review.
We're gonna get it hammered in. I think we're getting a little bits and pieces.
when am I getting?
What you say?
No, it's fine. I can't do November's reports until he gives them to me.
Yeah, no, I think we have a pretty good idea. It sounds like it's gonna be 23 million. I was trying to add the 11 million, but we're already counting that revenue in our system, so just trying to double count it. So 23 million. If you can email me what is in the 105 account, I will ask. I hate to take it, but I'd rather
Pulling
take
it
it
up
than.
right now as we speak.
Uh-huh. So 1.8 million?
Can you copy Decorah on that as well, please?
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow in our meeting, if,
So it sits at 2 million.
we do have some bills we gotta pay out of there too.
We have about 180,000 that we're gonna move to that, to reduce that by. So about 1.8 million, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 1.8 million.
I know we told the employees
Hmm?
for the increases, but
Well, if you
I'd
can't
rather
afford an
maybe
increase,
wait a
you
little
can't afford an
increase and keep employees here in the county.
Okay, do we have any more for this meeting?
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Nothing?
Unless you guys have more, anything clarifying you need from me,
No.
We're at
so.
midnight, my brain will
Fix
kick in and
whatever
I'll
his
just be
was
trying
and
to
his,
balance
that we
the
have
budget
to
and
add
trying
to his budget. We probably should do that
Good.
before we forget.
Did he said he sent it to me, Gary?
What?
The, capital for your CHP?
It's in the summary, yeah, I sent it to you, just a little bit ago.
Oh, yeah, I see it in the summary.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't anywhere else?
Well, there's no capital tab for the jail, so we had to put it in summary.
Oh, okay, and I hid the summary.
You hid the summary.
Well, it's not something I normally use.
You hid the summary.
You didn't say it was on the summary, I would have told you I hid the summary.
Give Sam one more time, Gary. 3 times the charm.
You hid the summary.
So that's the only place it lived, was right here?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's where it lives.
We didn't have it live.
Because it's on the summary tab.
It lives there
Alright,
because
I
that's
am
the
very
summary.
confused on that whole deal.
I don't think staff was sent.
I don't
It
think,
must
I
go
don't
to-
think so.
Okay, I'll find out from Doris.
Okay, so it's 1:57, we'll go into recess.